What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Tapped in 209. We're getting right to the end of the high school football season. Bowl games coming up this week. Last week was a lot of rivalry games, and we're going to get right into those. We're actually only going to recap just 3 games today. We're going to talk St. Mary's Lincoln, Stag Chavez, Manteca Oakdale. First up, St. Mary's beats Lincoln 54-41. On the St. Mary's side, Jaden Galvan, 14 for 21, 258, a touchdown and an interception, or 2 picks, excuse me. Ivan Huerta was the guy through the air, 6 catches, 103 with a touchdown. Ryan Lozano on the defensive side, 11 tackles, and Luke Lucatello adds another sack to the tally this year, as well as 3 tackles. Alvin, I forgot to say what's up to you. How are you
No
doing
problem.
tonight?
Good, good. How are you, Drew?
Not too bad. How
No
was
K
that?
Mud.
Yeah,
No
no
K
K
Mud.
mud.
Tryouts. Yep. We're basketball season started. Ready to
Started.
go. Yep.
So, how was that St. Mary's Lincoln game?
It was how do I put this nicely? Just horribly, terribly officiated. I've never seen so many bad calls, so many penalties in a game that was just ridiculous. I mean, people were just throwing their hands up. And I'm not just saying that. I think both sides can attest how badly officiated that game was. There was a point in the game when the game was winding down at the half. Lincoln had the ball, about ready to score. They call a timeout. Of course, St. Mary's wants the clock to roll. Lincoln has a timeout, and then all of a sudden the referees signal a timeout for St. Mary's, and they're like, "Why would we call a timeout? Why would we call back to?" So there was that, and then there was another play at the end of the game when Lincoln was driving down, and there was a play on the ball, and to me it looked like that the Lincoln player had caught it, but there's a St. Mary's player there, and they called an interception. Both players had the ball, I believe. The offensive player has the right to the ball. So it was just so badly officiated, but it was a good shootout. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I
So
mean, that's what it looks like on the score sheet as well. I know Galvan didn't have the best, touchdown to interception ratio this game. But it looked good, like a 13-point deficit, and like you almost score 100 points total in this game. I think a little bit of worry for the St. Mary's side though, when going into playoffs.
I on the opening, I believe it was the opening drive for Lincoln. St. Mary's cornerback ended up getting hurt coming out of the game, and Lincoln just picked on the cornerbacks. They went to the side where you know the cornerback that hurt went out, and they just kept on picking. They really went after him. We St. Mary's really needs to shore up the secondary moving forward. I believe this is something they're going to work on. They got 2 weeks off. I don't know what the injury is to that player. If it was a torn MCL, ACL, hopefully it's nothing major. We'll find out more before we go over the games on next week's broadcast. But yeah, definitely some things to work on. In the next 2 weeks, shore up the secondary. Run game was fantastic. But I think moving forward, that's something they need to work on.
For sure. Congrats to St. Mary's winning TCAL for, as many times as it's been for them in a row.
hmm
They continue to do it. And
I,
so,
I did hear a quote before the games start. They at this point, I think it's 20 years.
I think
St.
so.
Mary's the one, and there was a kid on the broadcast who says it's no longer a rivalry; it's an anniversary. And I'm like, oh, I'm like,
That's right to the heart. That's right to the heart.
I'm like, oh man, yeah, it's true. I think we talked about it last week. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
rivalries, you go back and forth, but like, it's like, man, they're just putting it to them. It's been year in, year out. So, um, we'll see moving forward.
Absolutely.
So,
And we're going to move straight over to the VOL, and that literally a conference championship game between Manteca and Oakdale. Take us away.
This game was everything that it was expected to be. It was Manteca and Oakdale. Manteca prevails 40-26, led by actually quarterback Owen Gully. This might, I'm not sure, but this might be the first time he's thrown over 200 yards. But he came out firing 11 for 18, 235, three touchdowns and one pick. Nico Juarez again on the ground, 7 carries, 104 yards, two touchdowns. Quinn Martinez, 4 receptions, 78 yards, and one touchdown. Jalen Harris also had another 3 receptions for 59 yards and one touchdown. On the other side of the ball, we have the Mustangs. Just valiant effort. I mean, I think they had, I can't remember. They had the lead for
Yeah,
a while. I
they
mean, they
they they
were,
just got shut out in the second half. That's all it
yeah,
was.
yeah. I think Manteca's defense just, showed up in the
Figured it
second
out.
half. Grant Gardner, 4 for 9, 49 yards and two picks. Chase Lopez, 12 carries, 88 yards, one touchdown. Wes Burford, 31 carries, 185 yards, two touchdowns. I will say I saw his Instagram post today, so I'm guessing this had something to do with it. Is Richard Flores got hurt, I believe, during the game, and that probably had something to do with you know with Oakdale losing. I didn't watch that game, but I'm assuming I saw his Instagram post today, and he had a cast on his foot, and so prayers up for Richard Lopez, moving forward. But yes, Manteca prevails. Perfect season intact. I believe they're the number one seed,
Yes,
Drew,
number one seed in
in the
Division
Division
Two.
Two. And so they will be home for hosting all their games from here on out. So this should be a lot of fireworks moving forward. So they have the 2 weeks off, as well. For next week, I believe the bowl games are. So that's it for the leaders in the VOL. Drew is going to talk about the other championship game in the SJ2A.
Yeah, right before we move on, we want to give a quick shout out and congratulations to Wes Burford, now the Sac Joaquin section all-time rushing leader. I believe he is just under 7,000 in his career and is still has the
Wow.
D3 playoffs to go. They announced it on CIF live stream on Sunday. And so right now, Max Preps has him at 6,777 yards. It is ridiculous. I believe he's gonna easily get 7,000, and so he's now the all-time Sac Joaquin section rushing leader.
Really?
All
Wow. That's
time.
very, congratulations,
Yeah,
Wes.
congratulations. That is huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
So with that, let's go over to the SJ2A where it was domination on Thursday. Chavez wins 42-0 at home. On the Stag side, it was a little bit of struggles for Alex Hinojosa. 9 for 22, 160 yards, 16 yards, and 4 picks. Darnell Holmes had 17 carries for 60 yards. Saya Freeman White, 5 receptions, 72 yards. And Laron Bursey adds a sack to the year as well as 3 tackles. Chavez, of course, led by the sophomore quarterback Elijah Walker, 10 for 13, 266, 4 more touchdowns and a pick. Joel Donnell, 15 carries, 225, 2 touchdowns, as well as a 27-yard reception through the air that resulted in a touchdown as well. McConnell Smith, 2 receptions, 88 yards and a touchdown. Lamonte Barlow also got in the end zone with 2 catches and 60 yards. And a surprising guy, James Brown, 3 picks on the night, and then Jimmy Ducksworth added another one to the season, which puts him at 7 on the year. Kind of ridiculous. I believe he ended 128th nationally with 7 picks this year. So just amazing year. I'm so excited to see what Chavez can do. 7 seed in Division Two. I believe they take on Granite Bay. So that's going to be really exciting. Again, we're going to talk all playoffs in next week's episode. So really excited to see what Chavez can do.
Yeah.
With that, before we hit our John's Player of the Week, of course, let's hear from John's.
All right, let's be real. If your lunch came out of a drive-through window, you deserve better. Like way better. That's why you need to hit up John's Deli, the spot where sandwiches are stacked so high you could practically need a game plan to tackle them. We're talking fresh bread, real meat, zero mystery ingredients, and enough flavor to make your taste buds go to a touchdown dance. So ditch the sad sandwich life, sorry Subway and Togos, and get over to John's Deli. Tell them the podcast sent you, and maybe they'll give you extra meat. No promises, but hey, it's worth a shot. John's Deli is located at 2112 Pacific Avenue, Stockton, California.
Yeah, go get yourself one. Anyways, for our John's Player of the Week, it's Diego Hernandez from St. Mary's. Absolutely tore it up. 27 carries, 231, found the end zone 5 times. He's been tearing it up this year. I believe he leads TCAL right now and finished it off leading TCAL. He's second. David Grisham from Tracy is in first. But yeah, that was such an amazing game.
He really turned it up. He's had 1 to 2 touchdowns, a week. And I think this game they leaned on him heavily. We really couldn't get the passing game going, and I believe, he's just breaking tackles. Diego was on a mission this week, and very happy for him. I think St. Mary's is going to have to lean on him moving forward in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
You know,
They need to become a little bit less pass heavy.
yeah,
I think, and continue. He's been solid as he can be all year.
yeah. So I think, like I said, moving forward, St. Mary's needs to lean on him and, ride him all the way through the playoffs. So congratulations,
Absolutely.
Diego, on being our Player of the Week.
Absolutely. With that, we're going to do a very special segment, and that's going to be player awards for the entire year. So we're taking into account MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and our Underclassmen of the Year. That was decided between the three of us. Obviously, there's only two of us right now, but K-Mud as well. Let's go ahead and start. Where do we want to start? Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
All right. With that, Offensive Player of the Year is going to go to Central Catholic wide receiver, Chase Perino. Had such an amazing year, 73 receptions, 1,137 yards. He averaged 15 and a half per reception and found the end zone 15 times. That is ridiculous.
Last week, he was our Player of the Year last week, but then he went above and beyond this week. We didn't cover their game this week, but he had 7 catches, 140 yards, and 5 touchdowns this week. So he really took it to another level this week. So congratulations, Chase.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations. And I know I didn't say at the beginning of the episode, but you will see Chase later on in this episode. If you guys definitely saw it in the thumbnail and everything as title, you'll be seeing an interview from him later on. With that, let's just take it right over to Defensive Player of the Year. Alvin, you want to take us away?
Yep. From Stag High School, Michael Gonzalez. Michael had 129 tackles, 19 tackle for losses, 2 sacks, and 2 interceptions this year. We didn't really talk about him a lot this year. But I mean, we did talk about Stag's defense and how good they were. But Michael was outstanding this year, at his position. So kudos to Michael Gonzalez winning our Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a guy that doesn't really, that position doesn't get a lot of credit with the amount of just pure tackles that he's getting. Like he's all around the field. And I think if Stag doesn't have him on the field, like it's a difference maker,
I
right? Like,
Yeah, I think it was an average like 13.4 tackles a game.
yeah,
It's
just
crazy.
ridiculous.
Yes, yes. So, that's our defensive player of the year.
Yeah. With that, Underclassmen of the year. So we're taking sophomores, and if a freshman came up for a little bit or spent the year there, those guys all went to under account. But I felt like this one's pretty obvious. Chavez quarterback, the sophomore, Elijah Walker. 152 for 227. That's a 67% completion percentage.
Crazy.
2,491 yards, 33 touchdowns just through the air. I believe he had another 2 on the ground to 4 interceptions. That puts him top 200 nationally in passing yards, and his 35 total touchdowns puts him top 25 nationally. He had a ridiculous season, not career. Career's not over yet.
Nope.
Not even close. But ridiculous year. And he needed a shout out for sure. Congratulations, underclassman of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching their game last week. I mean, a lot of credit to his offensive line too. They gave him a lot of time to throw back there, and it wasn't going too hot at the beginning, but he just picked it up, and he throws a good deep ball. He throws a great deep ball. So congratulations to Elijah Walker on our underclassman of the year.
Last but not least, it's MVP. I feel like this one's obvious as well. We talked about him tremendously every episode, but Alvin, go ahead.
It's my pleasure to announce that running back from Oakdale High School, Wes Burford, is our MVP of the year. I'm sure he is unanimous through everyone else who does a Player of the Year, MVP award. But especially, it's special to us because he was one of our first interviews, and got to really know him as a person. He opened up to us and told us some funny stories, and a great interview. So,
Absolutely.
hats off. Thank you again, Wes, for being on the show. 212 carries, 2,280 yards this year. Not done. The CIF statistic doesn't end there. It rolls all through playoffs. 10.8 yards per carry, and he had 30 touchdowns. He ran for well over 100 yards every single game. But it's for him. It's not just offense; it's also defense. He's also the starting linebacker. So 62 tackles, 22 tackles for losses, 4.5 sacks, and 1 pick. So once again, congratulations, Wes. Great year. They're Division III, I believe.
Third seed Division III, I believe.
I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna say Oakdale wins Division III
Okay.
section title.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Oakdale's gonna do it.
Okay.
So
We'll talk about it more. You guys will see more next
Yep.
week as well. Brackets out on Max Preps for your team. For all CIF divisions, the brackets are out there. We will post one next week as well of our own, and our predictions. So it's going to be exciting. Make sure you stick around for that next week. We're going to break. I believe
Mhm.
do we have any teams in D4?
Ooh, I don't know.
So we'll potentially break down Division 4. I know Linden is in D5 or D6, so we'll talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that division. D3 and D2, and we'll just kind of throw out D1 just so you guys can kind of be familiar in the Northern California division for that. So with that, before we talk more about our playoffs and bowl games and everything like that coming up for the 209, let's hear from Coop.
All right. Shout out to our sponsor, Cooper Flicks Photography, capturing athletes the way they deserve to be seen. From the field to the weight room, Cooper brings your story to life with clean, professional photos and highlight videos that hit different. Whether you're chasing college offers, building your personal brand, or just want to showcase your grind, Cooper makes it look next level. Follow at Cooper Flicks Photography on Instagram and book your session today. Don't just play the game, show the world how you play it. And Cooper can be reached at Cooper.flicks, 2 S's.
Yeah. Thank you, Coop. With that, Let's talk about bowl games in the 209. I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday on our Instagram, or I say yesterday. I think we posted it on Monday. Monday on our Instagram. Our 209 teams that made bowl games. Before we really get into them, let's kind of discuss how bowl games work now. The 9 through 16, 9 through 12, 9 through
9 through
16 are
16.
officially eliminated from playoff brackets just to make them more competitive, shorten the season by a week for all athletes in general. So it should be more exciting for come playoff time. And these bowl games are just, maybe give the seniors one last hurrah at home. Get the boys out one last time that really deserve to play an extra game together.
I will be interested in seeing how the way that college athletes handle the bowl games, because for those athletes, a lot of them are going to go play in the pros, and if the playoff doesn't mean anything, if the bowl game doesn't mean anything, they may sit out.
Hmm.
So I wonder if there's quite
It's
possibly be some boys in high school that yeah, it is their last time, last hurrah to play with their boys, one last time. But at the same time, if some of these guys have a scholarship to somewhere, would they sit out the bowl game?
I think it's possible. It's a great question. I think maybe it might be one of those, hey, you go play the first quarter or you go play the first drive, and that's where it's going to end
Yeah,
for you, right? But you might also
yeah,
see some kids like really want to take it in and be like, this is my last high school game,
right,
right? So you
right,
might see them play the full four or a half or something like that. I also think it's going to be interesting to see what kids step up, right? This is the time for
yeah,
you to showcase yourself for the next coming year.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and at the end of the day, you don't know who's sitting in the stands. You never know, and that to me, it shows character for those. Yeah, they do have a scholarship, but hey, they're gonna stick it out with me, and that's probably gonna prove to a recruiter, he didn't just go and sit down just because his career was moving forward, right? So,
Yeah.
like I tell people, you don't know who's sitting in the stands watching, and for especially like the parents, right? Like you come to a lot of these AAU games and whatever, and parents are yelling and screaming and they're almost getting in a fight. You don't know who's sitting next to you. There may be a scout at your game, and I've coached. I told the boys that I coach in AAU the same thing. Don't get an attitude out there during the game because you don't know who's there, and they take in those scouts. They take in the whole package too. They know they're not only offering the kid the scholarship, the parents are involved in it too, and they don't want that headache. So, all right, with that said, sorry.
All good.
Let's
We're
go to
there.
the full playoff
We got
game.
it. Let's see the bowl
Alvin's rant
games.
for the week is over.
First up, Lincoln of Stockton will be taking on Turlock at home. Lincoln's 4-6. Turlock end of the year 5-5. It'll be good. Turlock finished second in their conference. They're in it with Downey, as Downey's in Division One, the 8 seed there. They're taking on Folsom, so it's
Yeah,
gonna be a rough one. But yeah, Turlock finished 5-5 on the year. They're actually ranked 209th in California. Um, so it should be a good one.
I believe Turlock is better than what their record says. Um,
Absolutely.
I feel like Turlock is going to win this game. Um, I, yeah, I think Turlock's just going to pound the ball, and I think they're going to give Lincoln all they can handle.
Yeah, I mean, they only lost to Downey by 3, 29-26, at Downey as well. So I think
Yeah,
Turlock might be able to squeak away with this one.
yeah,
But if the offense stays as hot as it is for Lincoln, no reason for them not to be able to
right.
squeak this one out.
Yep.
Up next, Kimball taking on Pittman. Kimball technically is 1-9 on the year because of all of their forfeits that they had. Pittman coming into this one 5-5. Kimball at home for this one. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. Yeah, their record doesn't show how good of a year that they had, but they lost their last game to Tracy,
Mm.
26-28, that we didn't talk about.
Mm.
So who knows how this game can go.
Yep.
Take us away with the next one.
Next game we have Mountain House 3-7 taking on Tokay 7-3. I'm a little disappointed that the selection committee didn't put Tokay in the playoffs. I think Tokay had that's a huge jump for that program. Um, and I would have liked them to see them in maybe a Division 3, maybe
Division
Division
4.
2. Yeah,
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that. I felt like that they deserved to be in a playoff. Um, especially after they made the move 2 years ago
Yeah.
from TCAL to SJ2A, and I think this is their second year
Yep.
at SJ2A, and 7-3. I believe their only losses are to Chavez and Sag.
Yeah, and then a
So
pre-conference game, I believe, or yeah, I
yeah, the
believe.
two conference losses, and they had another loss. I
Yeah,
can't remember who they lost to, but I look for Tokay to win this game very handily against Mountain House.
absolutely. And I think the next game might go kind of the same way as well, with Laguna Creek going back into Stockton to take on Stag. Stag's 8-2. Laguna Creek is 4-6. Um, I mean, yes, a rough loss for Stag last week.
I was
Um,
I was very disappointed in the committee on
yeah,
this decision. I know Stags, they didn't play a lot of top teams, in their out of conference, but 8-2. I mean, they were very good defensively, and they probably, yeah. I thought they should have gotten into one of the playoffs. There's some other teams that I see here that don't deserve to be there. I mean, let's be honest. Kimball's 3-9, or 1-9. Sorry, but I would have much rather liked to see Stag there. You know, um, or I'm sorry, yeah, I would have liked to see Stag in a playoff game.
for sure.
So, I'm very disappointed at that. I think they deserve a lot more respect than what they gave them.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I think they had a great
I
year
think
as
Stag's
well.
gonna roll. I think Stag's gonna roll Laguna Creek.
Yeah, I think so
So,
too, especially them being at home.
yeah.
Heartbreaking loss, last week.
Hmm.
So, last one, Patterson out of the POL taking on Los Banos. They'll be at Patterson will be at home at that one. Patterson's 3-7, but this team didn't play like a 3-7 team. We talked about it all year. They just couldn't get over the hump. A lot of one score, two score losses to very good teams. Just it's your conference,
Yeah.
getting to you.
I mean, they had to play with Manteca. They had to play with Oakdale. They played Central Catholic. So,
Four of
and
the
I think
teams out of their conference made playoffs.
yeah, so it's they deserve a bowl game. I don't know much about the Los Banos team, so I can't say for sure. They were 5-5 this year, but um, you know Patterson, they deserve to have a bowl game. Despite their record, but like I said, those were tough teams that they played.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So that's kind of what bowl games look like for this year. It's gonna be, a couple of exciting games in there that we really like, and a couple of teams that we felt maybe got snubbed a little bit that could have made playoffs, but that's not our decision at the end of the day. So we're looking forward to playoffs for sure. So good luck to all of our teams out there taking on their last game of the year. With that, we're gonna go straight into this Chase Perino interview. You're going to see him right now. What's up, everybody? We got the Central Catholic wide receiver, Chase Perino, in the house. How are you doing?
Amazing. How are you guys doing?
Doing very
great,
well.
fantastic.
Congratulations on being our John's Player of the Week versus Mountain House. 7 catches, 180, and 2 touchdowns. And on the year, we talked about it a little bit earlier.
Hold on, Drew. We gave him Player of the Week, for that performance, but this dude went above and beyond this past week, right? With 7 catches, 140 yards, and 5 touchdowns,
Yes, sir.
right? Yeah. So against
Ridiculous.
Sierra, so yeah, he outdid himself
Yeah, that is
again.
just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so with your receiving yards, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but you're at 1,137. That puts you 84th in the nation right now. So that is ridiculous. You are tearing it up so far. Top 20 in California as well. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So with the 2 games, actually, you know, Mountain House and Sierra, were you going into these games like, oh, I'm going to tear it up? Or was it like a game plan situation? Like, how was it?
It was more of like a tear it up situation right here. I mean, the Mountain House senior night, I had to put on for
I get
everyone,
it.
the crowd and everyone.
Uh-huh.
So my first catch, probably my favorite catch all season, I got a one-hander. Got catch of the week for KCRA 3.
Oh,
That was
nice.
pretty cool, and it just kind of built up from that. And these last 2 games, I only played one half of football for both. So
You put up 5 touchdowns in one half?
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
played like
goodness.
3 different quarterbacks, I think, that game
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, that was
So
the
they,
Mountain House game. Yeah.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, Medina, is that your quarterback? No,
Medina and McHenry, both
okay,
got great play styles. They got different play styles, but they work. So
okay,
That's good.
good. Yeah, that's awesome. So,
Cool.
in 2 weeks, you guys play the number 2 Oak Ridge,
yes, sir.
in the playoffs. Oak Ridge physical team.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about. I mean, you guys obviously probably you're doing film today.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that matchup when you
They're a
get to
great.
see and go down.
You watch film on them. They're a great team. Very hard nosed football. They run the ball a lot. They throw the ball. They're
Hmm.
dual threat. Um, we're going in there with a strong mindset that we can beat them, but it's going to be a tough matchup for us for sure. First round of playoffs always gets the nerves going. So,
Right.
but we're excited. We're very excited.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, just we want to say congratulations to you guys as well for making playoffs. Especially with only 8 teams now, it's
Yes, sir.
it's a little bit harder. So congratulations, and even being in Division 1, that's a really good thing to see.
And you guys, and I said it before that I think the VOL is, of the leagues that we cover, and especially in the 209, we don't cover all the leagues, but the VOL is by far the strongest league in the area.
Yes, sir.
You have, you know, 3U, and you also had Patterson. Patterson was they had a lot of close games this year,
Yeah.
and so that they're, I think, moving forward they're going to be better. But you guys, it's just a tough league this year. For you, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
Manteca, Oakdale, East Union, and you
yeah,
guys, all battled it out this year. So,
Sure.
congratulations on making the playoffs.
Thank you.
yeah. And we know you
So,
guys had a rough start to the year, but there weren't bad losses. Like any of them were not bad losses at all.
Yeah, we played tough throughout all those games. I feel like it just came down to a couple key plays, but we learned from those plays, and we're taking all those losses just as motivation. We're the underdog now, so we're taking that as
love
motivation.
it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
super excited for you guys this game in 2 weeks. So
Yes,
with
sir.
Yeah.
that, let's get into our first question. What does the football offseason look like for you?
Hitting the weight room, most definitely. I work with, I don't know if you guys know KT Prep as well. They built me into the player I am today, basically, and all my trainers as well. But they kind of like showed me the way, like how to like move different, the
Mm,
footwork, everything, just DB and wide receiver. I mean, they got great coaches over there. So training with them for sure made me next level.
nice.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
How is it balancing school and football?
So this, I mean, it's not that hard for me. I have a great set of parents. They pushed me throughout my whole life with school. School comes first, of course, and then sports. So I've always had to keep those grades up. So I just built that into the years. And so, yeah, it's not that hard, but yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, we're finding more and more with, like, most of our player of the weeks are smart guys.
Yes, sir.
They're 4.0s and above. So, they got the grades to back up, the athletic ability. For you young guys who are out there, they've got, they're pretty smart, really smart, and, they have the whole package. And I feel like that's a lot of what the college scouts are looking for,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Is they want to have guys with not only high IQs on the field, but also high IQs in the classrooms.
Yeah, that's the
So
first thing that the coaches ask about your GPA and how you are in school. So, yeah, that's like the first step of getting recruited.
good to
That's
know.
perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So what is, a typical week, typical day look like going into game day?
So Monday we have film at lunch. We go in there, the whole team. If we win, we get lunch paid for. So we just go in there, eat,
That's
film.
awesome.
So last week we had a win, so we got some canes today,
Okay.
There you go.
and then go into practice, walkthroughs, and then just straight to a normal practice day. And then Tuesday's about the same. We have film at lunch, then go to the field, hit it. And then Wednesday, Thursday, we go. Wednesday is like the tough day where we go head to head, usually full contact.
Yeah.
Uh, Thursday, we go shorts and pads, shells, and just locking in, just going over plays, what we need to know for the upcoming game.
Anything on the weekends?
Weekends, we have we just go to therapy to get our legs treated
Oh,
Saturday.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
core. Yes, sir.
Cool.
Is that done at the school, or is
Uh,
that something you do on your own?
we have to go on our own. It's at core physical therapy. We go there,
Okay.
just get treated, and then we also have something at our school on Sunday that
Oh,
our
nice.
trainer JJ takes care of for us.
Cool.
Nice. All right. What is your preparation on game days? You specifically, like it's as soon as school's over. What are you doing?
I'm going straight to the locker room, or we have pregame meal before, so I always have to eat pregame meal. That's a must for me because
Okay.
I need to get those carbs in before the
Mhm.
game, and then go to the locker room. Maybe take like a 15-minute nap, no more than that, or else you'll feel tired.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just listening to music, getting locked in, and yeah, stretching.
I
Stretching is a
I
key.
I've seen their weight room. That thing it's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
If you ever actually their whole like gymnasium locker room setup is impressive. That's the Gallo Center, right? Or they call it the Gallo.
Yeah, it's the Gallo Center is where our weight room
Yeah,
is. Yeah, it's in there.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Amazing. All right. This is the big question. Talk about your guys on offense. Who are your dogs on offense?
Our dogs, we got a lot of them. So at running back, Carter Meeks, he's a Sac State commit.
Okay.
Downhill guy. We have a lot of running backs that are some dogs. We have
mm,
Daimir, Jonathan Fuentes. They're both all hard nosed guys that will run someone over for sure.
yeah,
And yeah, they're powerhouses for
Okay.
sure.
nice.
And then we also have a couple wide receivers. We have some young guys at wide receiver since our other wide receiver, Dylan Ridenauer, he's really great, but he got hurt, his hip. So
Mm,
he's out for the season. But we have some coming up guys that are making some big plays for sure.
Okay.
nice.
There you
Our
go.
quarterbacks, we got two of them now. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So Oak Ridge is gonna have to plan for two quarterbacks next week.
Yes, sir.
It sounds like.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have a personal trainer or dietitian? I know you mentioned a couple. Your therapy guys. You mentioned the guy who work out in the off season. But do you have any of those guys that you work with?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I go to the weight room with a trainer named LaRon Thompson. Does a great job. And also, I think you guys all know Bonzu.
I
I go there
believe.
with Leslie Bonzu. So yeah, I go with
okay.
both of them. They get me right, especially in the off season. That's where I go with
Okay.
them like
Okay.
most of the time. But yeah, those two guys are the ones.
All right.
Awesome.
What's a game day superstition you have? You said you're eating and that 15-minute nap. Is there anything like maybe in the morning or anything like that?
Okay, so one that I have is right
Hmm.
after the national anthem. I go behind, just say a quick prayer.
Mhm.
That's my go-to
Okay.
before every single game. I can't miss that before
Okay.
straight after the national anthem.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yes,
Fantastic.
It's a great one.
All right. Who was a mentor in your life?
My parents for sure. They're the most hardworking people that I know. They taught me all about determination and just hard work and how to like achieve what you want and be successful. So I would have to say them. Throughout like my whole life, I've been pushed by them, just trying to be the best man that I could be for my friends, my siblings, everyone. Just so they're for sure my role models.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Absolutely. When did you start playing football?
So I started tackle football 8th grade year. So that was my first
Oh,
year
wow.
football. Yes, sir.
Wow.
And I was a quarterback too, so I wasn't and I couldn't throw it, but I could run it. Like I only
Okay.
had one passing touchdown my whole time, but
Uh, so writing on that, what I like to always go back and ask, who did you play for? If
I played
the
for
Pop
the
Warner.
Central Saints. The Saints.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So leading into that, you're a two-sport athlete. You were in 2025 first team all VOL league outfielder.
Yes, sir.
Um, so talk about how that translates for you into football.
So,
Um,
I mean, I think it's just the competitiveness of it. My whole life, I played baseball, and over time, I built like more of a love for it. And then I found football, and now that's my first love. But baseball is right up there with it. I mean, out here at Central Catholic, we have a great baseball team. We've made it
mhm.
to sections, I think 4 years or 3 years in a row now, and state. So, I mean, or not state. We've made there 2 years and won one of them. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great program out there ran by Danny Ayala. So, and we're looking to chase greatness this year as well.
Absolutely. I'm the baseball guy. I'm baseball guy through and through. So who'd you play for growing up?
So at first, I played like my 7 to 10 years old. I played at Belpassi.
Okay.
Just that's the normal place. It was competitive back then.
I'm sure.
Games were stacked.
Yeah.
And then over time, I went with SBA, Stanislaus Baseball Academy. And then I also played with, Aces, the Aces.
Okay.
The Outwater Aces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay.
All right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Someone you model your football game after.
Ooh, someone I model my football game after. Okay, so I'd have to say Megatron, just because I mean
Calvin Johnson. Yeah.
I don't have the build like him, but like a story got brought up that he says whenever he goes up, like whenever a ball's up in the air, he goes up, and that's like his whole family, his like life just in the air. So he has to come down with that, or else like he loses everything. Like the ball is everything. Like, you have to catch it. So that's what I model my game after, just like who I'm doing it for, and I have to ball out. So
Yeah,
Nice.
no, I get it for sure.
All right. Who is your favorite all-time athlete?
all-time athlete, I'm gonna have to say Bo Jackson.
Okay.
He's a baseball football guy. I mean, he ran probably the fastest 40 time. I don't know if that's true, but he did run a pretty fast 40 time.
It was insane.
Yeah. And I just remember watching him run up the wall catching the baseball. So that always is something. And his football game was pretty cool.
Yeah, can back it up for sure.
Yeah.
What is the favorite game that you've been a part of personally?
My favorite game. I would have to say the Oakdale, or actually, I have to go with the Turlock game. Even though we lost, it was a great game last year. First round of playoffs, it went to overtime. It was like back and forth. They were up 21-7, I think, going into the halftime, and we had a talk. We were like, we cannot let this happen. We started coming back. Ultimately, didn't lead to the result that we wanted, but it was a great game to play and super competitive. I think we still come out with it, but it's all right. But yeah, that game was super fun. Just the competitiveness of all of it. I mean, they were talking, we were talking. It's just, that's football right there, and you got to love it.
Yeah. All right. Your favorite sports moment that you've ever been at, watched live, or seen on TV?
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to say, I think it was the Alabama versus Auburn game. I was watching it on TV.
Iron Bowl.
My whole family and Jalen Milroe, and I think it was Isaiah Bond. They were down. They got like sacked or something, or a flag, and it was like 4th and 20 or whatever. And he just throws it up into the end zone, and Isaiah Bond comes down with it. And I just thought that moment was so cool. And like looking back on it, like I want that to be me in college. Like just the versatility that he has. It was a cool moment, and like the crowd going crazy. Like that's just something that you live for. So
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Speaking about you in college, congratulations on Fresno State, of course. That's a huge accomplishment. Who else? I want to, really want to talk about the recruitment process for, a lot of the young kids that may be getting into it and everything like that. Who else recruited you? What does the recruitment process look like?
So I had a couple of schools looking at me. I had an offer from Sac State. Um, I had Nevada looking at me, UC Davis, some other schools. It was honestly pretty stressful. Just DMing the coaches on Twitter, seeing who would reply to you. I mean, it's always gonna hurt, like not getting those replies
Right.
back. But the
When did
process.
that start? When did you?
So for me, I played JV my freshman and sophomore year. So I
Okay.
tried those years, nothing happened. My junior year, I had a pretty standout year, I would say.
Huh.
After that, I started having some coaches contact me. I thought it was
Oh,
the coolest thing ever.
yeah.
Of
So
course.
did they call your cell phone? Did they go through their
So
cellular? Or
Twitter
oh,
Okay.
was like a main one. So just
oh,
sending them my
okay.
film, asking like what they think of it, like what I could bring to their program. Um,
Nice.
yeah, just I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. There were some that they're just like you don't have enough or what we need. And
Yeah.
there's others that say you would fit it perfectly. It's how it crumbles. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Sac State, I got the offer during the off season. I was playing with KT Prep. I was at a practice and the coach called me, offered me, and
Wow.
I'm telling you,
Nice.
it was the best feeling of my life. My heart, like my whole body went warm, got the chills.
That's a
The
fantastic.
craziest feeling ever.
I mean,
And
because all your hard work finally paid off, right?
yes,
Like,
sir.
Mhm.
that's fantastic. So
Yeah.
we got Sac State, Davis. You said
Davis was not an offer, but they were interested.
okay, Nevada.
Yeah, yes, sir. Just some of those schools. And then the thing that kicked it off for me was the Sac State camp. Um, so I played DB there. I wasn't a DB at first, but I, I turned into a DB over the off season with KT Prep, like I
Hmm.
said.
Hmm.
And so I went to that camp. I had to show out to like make my offer committable. Um,
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
I went there. I locked up every single receiver. I think I
Okay.
lost one rep. Bunch of coaches. Everyone went up to me. The players. It was the coolest thing ever. I'm telling you.
Nice.
And then after I got talked to by New Mexico State, Fresno State, the O line coach was there. He contacted the defensive coordinator, and then the defensive coordinator called me and said, "We have a camp tomorrow or like next week. Would you be able to come?"
Oh,
And
hell
so
yeah.
I was like, "Oh yes, most definitely." Went there at first. Oh no, I did great at the Fresno State camp. I ran, I think, the fastest 40 time there.
Wow.
Oh,
Then also just the one on ones. At first, it was a little rocky. I was just nervous.
Of
I'm like,
course.
I got this is the place that I want to be at. So I mean, I got to lock in. So
hmm,
first rep was kind of nervous, and then I started getting the hang of it. Got a pick in front of the head coach,
Wow.
Hence, and the defensive coordinator. All the players went crazy. It was probably
yeah.
the coolest experience of my life. And then I got another pick, and
Oh
then just
wow.
broke up a couple passes, and then the coach pulled me over during the one-on-one reps, offered me, and I
That's
just knew right
fantastic.
there it was home.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Were you playing any offensive
Sorry,
snaps?
hold on.
Okay.
Sorry, one second. What'd you say? Sorry.
Any offensive snaps at those camps or strictly DB?
I went strictly DB.
So
Every time I found a love for DB.
Okay.
okay,
Yes, sir.
so are you going to Fresno State as a DB or what, or as a wideout?
I'm going as a DB.
Okay,
Okay. It's
Yes, sir.
amazing.
that's nice. Yeah.
And then my next question to you is any baseball there? Are you going to try and play baseball as well? Is there an option to play baseball?
If there's an option, I'll definitely look into it. Just seeing whatever happens, happens. And I mean, it would
Absolutely.
be really cool if that does happen, but I'm just gonna see where God leads me. And
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna head in straight to our rapid fire questions.
all
Anywhere
right,
from, a word to a sentence. If there's a question that you want to expand on, feel free to. But we're really looking for like quick response, one word to a sentence.
yes, sir.
All right. First question. Do you prefer a deep ball or back shoulder fade?
Deep ball.
All right. If you could have any quarterback throw to you in history, who would it be?
Hmm. Um, I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Go-to pump-up song.
Uh, Run this town.
Okay.
All right. Biggest rival school.
Oakdale.
Okay.
Okay.
Oakdale.
All right.
What's your favorite post-game snack or meal?
In-N-Out or Sour Patch Watermelon.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Favorite route to run.
I don't know if I can give that away. We still
That's
gotta.
fair.
We
That you
might
know
see it.
what?
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
completely that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah, because if it's your option, what do you play, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're gonna be like,
that's
oh wait, let's go back to the interview. All right, he likes the
regarded.
15-yard out. Yeah.
Yeah. Who is the toughest DB you've had to face this year?
This year probably Central Catholic Oregon. Kid was very nice.
Okay.
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 Okay. Um, who was your NFL inspiration at wide receiver?
Odell Beckham.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
that why?
All
Is
right.
that why you went for the one hand?
That probably went out with one hand. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One word to describe your playing style.
Determined.
Okay.
Gloves or no gloves? I think I know the
Glove.
answer to this.
No
Okay,
gloves.
so what? I'm going to date myself, but
Okay.
this was about 30 years ago, maybe longer than that. They used to make Newman was the glove maker back then. Are they still around,
No,
or
I don't
they're?
think so. I haven't heard that. I haven't
No.
heard that name in a while.
No.
It's NEU, man, and it was crazy because those gloves. I mean, they were super expensive, back then, right? It was like 25, $30, super expensive for us back in the day. But those things were the stickiest gloves that you'd ever had, and they were wide receiver gloves, and baseball players used them too.
Oh.
So, what's the brand that you wear?
I wear Phenom.
Oh. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, Phenom.
Okay.
okay. Are those the ones with the logos on it?
So it has like a little. We can't wear like the big logo ones because we're Under Armour school. So it just has like a little P right
Okay.
here. But
Oh, okay. Because I see some of the other guys have their university on their, like
yeah,
Kenny Moore at St. Mary's at UCLA, and some of these other
yeah.
guys have their, the school logo on it.
I wish we
Okay,
could. I wish.
I that would be cool. Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, I think we know the answer. You talked about it, but your favorite highlight from this season?
Definitely the one hander.
Yeah.
Sir.
All right. Last question. If you weren't playing receiver or defensive back, what position would you play?
I'm gonna have to go back to my roots. Quarterback.
Okay.
Read off
Okay.
Yeah.
passing.
Yeah, if you have to. If you have
Okay.
to.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so
So.
that's all our questions, but before you leave, we're looking for a live reaction. We talked about it earlier in the episode. You are officially our Offensive Player of the Year for 2025.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Again, like we talked about it, you tore it up. I think you were like 15 yards a catch, 20,
Yes, sir.
20 or
Yes.
so touchdowns or something like that. Like
I don't know.
just
Yeah.
yeah, just a ridiculous year.
Yeah, I think between you and Wes, we talked about you guys every single week. And so, you guys, you were fantastic this year, and who knows, maybe you'll play some wide receiver at Fresno and get to,
Who knows?
see you. I went to San Diego State, so I watch a lot of, the
No,
state
yeah.
versus Fresno games, and so maybe next year's game will be at San Diego because I think they played Fresno this year here.
Yes, sir.
So, but hoping to see you play, next year and in the near future.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Thank
congratulations again. Congratulations
yeah,
on your entire year and everything that you've done. It's been amazing to, recap every week and, look for your stats because we knew it was going to be a great week.
Thank you,
yeah.
guys. Really appreciate this.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So thank you so much again, Chase, for being on with us, taking time. Good luck in 2 weeks. Enjoy your rest week.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I hope you guys did enjoy that Chase Perino interview. Again, thank you to him for being on. It was a great interview to be a part of. Before we send you guys away, we talked about it a little bit. We're getting into basketball season. We're taking next week will be our first time really covering it. We're going to have a top 10 power rankings. We're getting ready to heat check. We might do a little bit of both throughout the year just to kind of keep you guys up to date. But teams are playing, 2 to 3 times a week. We want to make sure our power rankings are a little bit easier to, they're not going to change as drastically every week.
Yeah. So the way we did this initial power ranking is interviewed a bunch of the area varsity coaches um, and got their take, asked of them, about 10 of them, to rank the top 10 teams in the area. They are the ones that have seen all these guys from last year. They know who left. They got to see them during summer league. So this is more of the first one is more of a coach's poll, right? And it's going to have the rankings 1 through 10 of the areas, the teams from, once again, we're doing 3 conferences or 3 leagues. So you have TCAL, SJAA, VOL, and we're adding Venture Academy. Venture Academy is an independent team this year for the first time, so they get to play whoever they want. They have always been in a lower division. I want to see either Division 4 or 5, and have won the section title a couple times. So they're stepping into a big arena now with a lot of the bigger, better teams. So we will be having Coach King on our show at some point. He will be explaining, his, how that works being an independent team. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who aren't aware a bit what being independent is and how he will make the playoffs and move forward from there. But I'm really excited. We've got a slew of players who have asked to be on the show, and I can't wait for the time to interview them. A lot of these guys I've coached, Carson has played with, so it's gonna be really exciting for basketball season to get
Yeah.
started.
It's going to be jam packed. Like it's going to be
Yeah,
a lot of information thrown at
a
you
lot
guys.
of
And
content.
so we're
Yeah,
going to try and make it as simple as possible for everybody to understand, right? We're not going to be doing what we did for football where we're looking at every single game. We're going to be talking about how teams did during the week. Hey, they went 2 and
yeah,
1. This was their best win. This was a standout player. Something along the lines of that. If you
yeah,
guys have any suggestions for us that might be easy that you guys would like to see, let us know.
yeah.
Everything helps. So some big changes are going to happen during basketball season.
And next week we will also have our October Player of the Month announced. So a lot of good things happening next week, as well as playoff preview, round 1. We will go over that. So a lot of good content coming next week. Exciting stuff moving forward.
Very exciting. So you guys stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. You guys know that. With that, we say thank you for watching. Share with everybody you know. This is where you get your high school sports. We'll see you later.
See ya.